Oh, good morning, everyone. Good morning. It looks like it's going to be another lovely day here at the little house. Welcome. This is Meg's little house in the country. And thanks for clicking on my video today. Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. And we have roses blooming. My little climbing roses are blooming. They don't really have much scent to them. In fact, I should say they have no scent to them. And it's really interesting how they've changed. They've been here ever since I moved here. I do need to tie up some of these a little more, as you can see. Here, there we go. As you can see, some of these are really drooping, so I need to tie it up to the edge. But yeah, they are beautiful. They're blooming. And if you sneak down in here, you can see my hollyhocks are starting to bloom. Look at that. I got one blossom there, and one down there, and a bud right here. And they are getting so tall, the stalks are. Oh, flower stalks are getting huge on them. These ones will be blooming next year. So I'm just letting them get some good growth on them this year, and next year we'll get some awesome flower stalks on them. Same with these. We got some that are going to be flowering soon, and some that are just getting big, and those will flower next year. So, good morning, and I hope it's Monday morning. New day, new opportunities. So, I'll be back later. I gotta go and eat my breakfast before Lily decides to eat it. Well, good morning, everyone. Yes, it's a couple hours later. I've been getting a few things done. I made a batch of chaffles, had breakfast. Well, actually, I had breakfast first. Then I made a batch of chaffles. I'm going to have to be leaving soon to go. When we get home tonight, I'm going to try out these. I've got a flower bed between my house and my neighbor's house, between our yards, that needs a little work. And the one thing I need to get out of the Rosa rugosas is all the dead stuff. So, since I just spent the morning doing indoor stuff in the house, we'll spend the evening getting some dead rose canes out of my Rosa rugosas, and then I got to get the water on them to soften up all the ground so I can pull out all the grass and make it look good. But yeah, we're gonna try these out this evening. Something to look forward to when I get home from work. But I got my shake made, and I'm going to have to get going here soon because I have to stop first before I go to work and pick up a food order. But right now I need to go outside, and we need to do a little bit of watering on all the pots because it's going to be in the 90s today, and I want to make sure nobody gets dried out and wilty during the day. Nothing like coming home and finding everything's wilted. So let's go outside and do that. This one little patch of grass right here keeps wanting to dry out. The rest of it stays really green and lush looking, but this spot here tends to dry out a lot. I don't think we have a great soil balance here. So this spot needs to be watered, as well as we need to water all the pots. As you can see, we're getting some dry. Things are starting to dry out here. And I just watered it yesterday too. Watered it yesterday. Really good. I soaked them down, in fact. So let's go and we're going to do two things. We're going to put this sprinkler, which is on the red hose, over here to water this patch of grass that keeps wanting to dry out. And that's my baby grass. Remember, I planted that this spring. Oh boy. I've been spot watering back here yesterday. But where our mild temperatures are kind of disappearing and we're getting into summer heat. Oh, got to get all the kinks out of this hose, or we won't have much. Nothing like having a hose that perpetually wants to kink up on you. Okay, that's a little too high over there. All right, let's see. I need to turn it down because I just want to get that dry spot. I don't want to water my chair. Let's see, how are we doing here? Just getting this dry spot here. Okay, we're gonna pull it just a little more. All right, there, that will get this whole area nicely watered. Then we are going to go and unhook this hose. From where we watered really good yesterday. In fact, the pavers are still damp. And we got this all really well watered. Also tonight when we get home, we are mowing this section of lawn. And we are going to be doing pocket gopher dirt retrieval. We'll put the pocket gopher dirt where pocket gopher dirt needs to go. So, get my snap-on in for my snap-on stuff. Put back on. There we go. Oh, and look how good they are. Everything's taking off. My squash is taking off. It's getting big. I still feel bad that the white zucchini never... I mean, I should have big white zucchini here, too. I'm going to have to order more seeds. Those seeds I ordered about 3 years ago. I mean, technically, they should still be viable. But to have them disappearing, going bad on me. Okay. There we go. We are going to water the pots, which unfortunately do tend to dry out in 90-degree heat really easy. You don't want to watch the weeds, you want to watch me doing this. Early morning watering. Not so early, it's almost 9 a.m. and I still got to go pick up my food order, which isn't much. It's a pork roast, a beef roast, and a dozen eggs. That should be enough to get me through a week. But I paid bills and I paid bills and I paid bills, and then I picked up a couple of things, and now I got one more bill going through. And I am praying that there is enough money when it hits the bank to cover it. If not, well, I can move a little money from what I paid on my credit card, but I really don't want to charge up my credit card again. That you know, I'd get it paid down a little bit, and then next thing you know, I have to charge it up. But I do have some prescriptions I need to get refilled, and unfortunately that might take the money. So, strawberries are looking pretty good. I still need to get an oak barrel. They run about $60 at Home Depot. My mom and I priced them when we went walking. Went on our errand Saturday. We drove by and they had the half oak barrels, and they're about $60. So I just have to save up or raise $60. I get $60 in the Etsy sales, and I can go buy an oak barrel. And I am getting wet. Oh well, it's going to be in the 90s today, so I guess getting soaked. Going to work a little damp. I'll just stay a little cooler before it gets toasty warm. I got to finish up today in the, I'll probably get finished up today in the Marine Center. You know, get it all done, arranged, looking good, shoppable by customers. And then I'll go back. I'm pretty much done for right now in the kids' corner, so I will probably start working on boots. Oh, good grief. I've got a kink in my hose. I really wish they would make hoses kink-free. And don't worry, I have bought hoses that say kink-free, do not kink, doesn't kink. Guess what? They kink. And when they kink, the rubber tends to crack. And then, yeah, you know what that means. Rubber tends to crack, and then you really have an issue. But let's get this. I'm pretty sure this is chamomile that I planted on the top. I was thinking I would have a whole top of this would just be full of chamomile. I'm thinking I got the sage is what I planted in this one, because I do have one plant, and I'm pretty sure that looks like a sage. But I think next year I'll just go out, I'll just try starting my seeds in the house, the way I do everything else. And I think I might have some time. I think that's time. You know, when plants start getting big and they're no longer microscopic little starts, it's a lot easier to see what it is you do and don't have. All right. I really either need to put this in a bigger pot or get it into in the ground. In the ground would be best. And I think I figured out how to restring my string trimmer. So I am going to try to do that too. And see if I figured it out correctly. Okay, now that my legs are wet, it's already, what, 72 outside? So, yeah, everything is looking good, looking nice. I love the way this looks early in the morning with the light and shadows. It looks nice. Everything looks nice out here. It just looks nice and pretty. Very spring-like green and growing. Yes, I need to yank that out. It's not going to produce anything I can eat, so it gets to go. It's just sometimes trying to keep an eye on what I'm doing. So anyways, thank you for helping me get my early morning watering done. I better get some ice packs in the cooler so my meat stays cold all day. Then I gotta go get my groceries and then go to work. But yeah, oh geez. Can you believe how awesome this looks? They look so good and healthy. That's what I need. Big, healthy plants that are literally growing by leaps and bounds. They are just basically getting bigger. Every time I come out here, they're bigger. So, oh yeah. And I got a few of the sunflowers are going to get tall too. Maybe if I can get some fertilizer on the rest of them, they'll start getting tall as well. But yeah, we got to give them a quick boost of something. Yeah. Which two good to go? Or one, maybe. Oh, let's see. I got two very healthy. peaches here, but we're going to take off this one, throw it in the garden to decompose. More organic matter for the garden. Okay, so now we got on this branch, we got them spaced at 1. There's at least a couple inches between these two, and then this one, and then we got 2 on the very end, and we will take one of them off. All right, there we go. That branch has all it can hold. And in fact, the way it's drooping already with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peaches on it is, yeah. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't break as those peaches get bigger. But yeah, I got to get clear up to the top and somehow get up there and get all those thinned out. All right, it's been 12 minutes and it's time for me to go to work. Talk to y'all later this evening. Well, good evening, everyone. It is getting pretty late. It's after 8 o'clock, but as I promised, we are going to test out the garden gloves that I have. I know I got a link somewhere. I'm pretty sure my sister sent me a link to it. So I will find that link and it will be down below in the description in case anybody would like to order themselves a pair. But yeah, I've got my gloves, my pruners, and my little wagon. So let's head on up. We may end up watching the sun go down as you watch me prune my roses. All right, let's head on up here. Up the driveway is another place that I do need to actually weed. I actually forgot to mow along here last Saturday, and then of course this Saturday I didn't get any mowing done. Did get my errands run, didn't get much mowing done, so this area really does need some attention. I've got to come out and weed. I might have to pull some of those big ones. But as you can see with my Rosa rugosas here, I've got a lot of dead canes. A lot of winter kill. I also got to get my lilacs watered. They're looking a little dehydrated. So, gotta get that done too. And yeah, long grass because I forgot to mow. But as you can see, we got a lot of dead canes, and look at the thorns on those things. Yeah. I tested out my first pair of gloves on one thorny rose, and I'm going to test out these gloves on these thorny roses. So, come along and you can watch me. I'm going to try to, I'll put this on hyper fast and let's see how well how quickly I can get this stuff all done. Oh boy. Okay. Well, as you saw, I even pulled up some thistles. Work beautifully. Can grab them. Not a single prickle. Same with these thorny, very thorny dead wood out of my roses. I can just grab them just like that. Nothing happening. Nothing going through the leather. Nice, tough. Yep, see? Still smooth. Nothing there. Good product. So if you want to get yourself a pair, and look at this detail. We got the sunflowers, and we got butterflies. Looks like swallowtails and monarchs. So, yeah, beautiful detail. Nice, really good, tough leather. Thistles didn't bother me. And if you look, you can see, look at how long the thorns on this are. We got some pretty long thorns here. And I can do this. Doesn't even puncture. In fact, the thorns just break off. Look at that. So I will post a link down below if you would like to buy a pair of these garden gloves. You can. They're nice, they're pretty, and they're useful. That's my review. Now, I found another thistle. So we better pull these thistles up. I'm not sure which one these are. They're not the big fat thistles. These ones got wee teeny tiny little buds on them. They get tiny little purple flowers, not the great big huge purple flowers. I still got a lot of weeding to do here, but for tonight we're gonna connect up the soaker hose and get some water on my lilacs here. They're looking a little dry. They're a little dehydrated. They got their leaves kind of folded up and conserving energy. And then when the ground is nice and wet, I can come out here and yank up all this grass and bindweed. Just like we yanked up all those thistles. No problem. Well, everyone, the sun is starting to go down. I think I'll call it a night. We got the dead stuff pulled out of the Rosa rugosas. It's been there since spring because I never got out this last spring to prune out all the dead canes. But they're out now and they look so much better. I've got the soaker hose going. They got a soaker hose on them. It does need to be replaced. It's got a couple spots that are a little leaky. But yeah, we're gonna have a beautiful sunset tonight. So I will say goodnight. God bless. I'll see you on the next video. If you like my videos, please click the like button, leave a comment, share with a friend, and if you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Oh boy, a little congestion in my throat. Too many warm days, cold days, warm days, cold days. It's supposed to stay in the 90s now for a while, so I shouldn't have to go through that anymore. So anyways, yeah, we're to the point where I have enough watch hours now that when I do live streams, I qualify to get supers, which is sort of like a few pennies here and a few pennies there. But hey, it's a type of monetization. Once I hit 1,000K, all I need is 4,000 watch hours, and then I can start getting ad revenue, and that would definitely help. The fact that I'm going to be 63 and I really do not have any source of retirement income to fall back on. I still have to work full-time and probably will until I drop dead of extreme old age. I've seen the letters Social Security sends me out. I wouldn't even make enough to cover my mortgage every month, so I'm not even going to even try on that front. Not until I'm 67. And then we'll see what additional benefits, but until then, you know, I thought, well, my YouTube channel could be a source of retirement income that might help me get to that point of being able to retire just that much faster. And just think of all the things I could video if I didn't have to spend 8 hours of my day working. Besides, want to see what I've been doing? I took a few pictures at work today of some of the areas that I personally have organized by myself with a little help, because I had to get guys to move in shelves and shelving and for me. I can't move the shelving myself, but everything else, I unpacked those boxes, I put the stuff on the shelves, I filled the alcoves. It's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. So, stay tuned after the credits for my little slideshow of what I've been doing at work for the last month.